Honoree Senator George H. Large, his son and grandson, respectively George K. Large and Edwin K. Large Jr., are well known in Hunterdon for their public and private leadership in many capacities. Senator George H. Large was known statewide for his consistent advocacy for Hunterdon County. Among many achievements, he served as president of the state Senate and in that capacity as acting governor for several months while Governor Robert S. Greene was out of the state. George K. Large clerked under his father and went on to a distinguished legal career, appointed the judge of Hunterdon County's Court of Common Pleas, and Judge Large often served in Essex County as well. During the infamous Lindbergh kidnapping trial, Attorney General David Wilens tapped Judge Large to become Assistant Attorney General during the trial, putting him on the prosecution team. Edwin clerked in the Flemington law firm of his grandfather, Senator George H. Large, and his uncle, Judge K. Large, and while a law student at Columbia, assisted his uncle on the Lindbergh trial. Following the family tradition of civil service, Edwin became one of the longest-serving Hunterdon County councils, serving for more than 30 years, and donating his fees for his work to various county social welfare and athletic organizations. As county council, he was one of the leaders of the successful fight to prevent the state from putting a major international airport in Reddington Township. Which we don't need that.
My name is Catherine Large Wetstein, and I am here tonight representing three men. My great-grandfather, George Hall Large, my great-uncle, George Knowles Large, and my dad, Edwin K. Large, Jr. The family actually first came to Hunterdon in the mid-1600s. They were Quakers from England, and I am pleased to say that my ancestor Stephen Large was one of the two people who went way down to Burlington in 16-something. This was a trip that took several weeks to get permission from the head Quaker ruling people there to start the meeting that still exists up in Quakertown. From that time on, there have been Larges sort of scattered like the dew across Hunterdon County, from Quakertown to White House and ultimately to Flemington. Like all the other families that have been here that long, they were farmers. And after being farmers for many years, they started adding some entrepreneurial aspects to what they did. The father of George Hall Large, for example, worked with Mr. Taylor, in Highbridge in the first version of what became Taylor Horton Steel. So the family has been farmers and businessmen in Hunterdon County for 300 or so years. I think all three of these men were inspired by sort of a bundle of things, the way all of us are. In the background was the Quaker commitment to the community and the Quaker idea that you should be grateful for what you have, share the talents you have, and advance the community you live in. There was also an entrepreneurial spirit in all of them. If something had not been done before, it seemed like a good idea, you went out and did it in order to make it happen. I think finally there was a major commitment to quality, both ethical and in terms of doing your very best professionally. Each of these guys spent a good part of his career doing pro bono work and doing work that they hoped would advance the cause of good legal practice in Hunterdon County. They were all attorneys, and that also would advance quality of life in general for Flemington and for the county. All right, let's think a minute about how these three gentlemen would